January 7th and we're back to it. Excuse my voice. I'm glad to be back. Over the holidays, I've been pretty poorly. Unwell. Middle of December, I got some sort of like, I think it was like a neurovirus thing, like a 48-hour bug or something. I tell you what, it wiped me out. For 48 hours, I was so bad. And then I was like, cool. End of December, we're back to it. And I got another thing. This time it's been weird. It's been like COVID. I can't say the word. Otherwise it takes you off YouTube, doesn't it? Felt like something that we knew. And maybe it was that. I couldn't get out of bed for like 4 or 5 days. And that's not like me. Lost my voice still. Coughing still. But on we go. Back to it. It's January start. To be completely honest with you, it's been terrible. Like, just the work. It's dead. It's absolutely dead. And December was really busy. We had lots on. It was really good. And so far, it's just absolutely dead out. So it's currently 1 o'clock on Tuesday. I've been out today in that one, which has got the sides on the other side. Absolutely dead. I had one of our lads out in his. And he's done all right today. He's done not bad. It's just been really weird. So fortunately, we've got the 4x4 there. I'm on a trailer right now. One of the trailers that we got, there's another trailer there. On one of the trailers, I'm just prepping for tomorrow. We've got some machines to move tomorrow, so I'm getting that all prepped. Next week we've got some good moves, and yeah, it's been mad really. Like, I thought we'd be a lot busier, but I guess you've got to think that, like, at the end of the day, when everyone takes time off, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, whatever it is, over Christmas, New Year, everything stops. All the goods that people are buying, they're not buying. January, people don't want to spend the money. Maybe longer to process. There's just a lot more going on. So that's why I think it's stepped back a bit. But we're going to keep going. We're doing what we're doing. We're putting the feelers out there all the time. So, yeah, that's good. Something I want to talk about, actually, really, really want to talk about, is I'm going to start showing my journey, because we have a logistics company. We do courier, we do same day. That's cool. I've got the vans at the moment, and what I've always wanted to do, even before I was doing logistics, is I've always loved lorries. I've just loved them. And I don't know if you're the same as me, but I just love them. They're massive, they're big, they're just different, you know? And as a kid, I remember looking up like, oh my goodness, lorries are cool. Like, being a lorry driver when I was younger was sort of quite a cool job to do. Nowadays, I think people think it's not. However, we're not just talking about being a lorry driver, we're on about adding lorries to our fleet. So we have a lot of work at the moment that we subcontract out. So we do get the work for lorries, 7.5 tonner, 18 ton predominantly, between 7.5 and 18 ton, and we've done some Arctic as well recently. Although we get the request for it, it's not all the time, so we don't have them on the fleet. There's a lot to do to go from the vans over to the lorries. It's a lot. You need an operator's license, which in itself is one thing that's not necessarily easy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this whole process, because I've decided we're doing it. I'm going for it. I booked in my C+E, so that means I'll be able to drive an Arctic at the end. It's going to take, it's 6 days solid training and then the test, but then there's things in between. So I've got my medical this Saturday. So that's the first step, is medical. Once you've done your medical, then it's your theory. Then you've got to get your provisional for your lorry, which is just like the same with your car. Get the provisional, do all the training, pass the test, and then get the pass. And then once I've got my C+E, which means I can drive an articulated lorry, the original goal was to buy an 18-ton lorry, because excuse me, my main thought was, right, okay, well, we get loads of 7.5, we get requests for 18, why don't we go over an 18, and then we can pick up the bits of the 7.5 and blah 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 blah. Talking to someone that I know, that he has a big trucking company, very 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 well known guy. I did some work for him once and just got on with him. And he said to me, anytime I'm down in a particular postcode, which is a BA postcode, he said for me to call him, because he's normally got something back. So I rang him yesterday, because one of my boys was down there for a bit of work to come back. And I said to him, what do you reckon? He said, Sam, whatever you do, don't get an 18-tonner. I was like, why? Why not? He's like, you're limiting yourself massively. You're massively limiting yourself. He said, what you need to do, you need to get an Arctic tractor with a big trailer. I was like, okay, well, but why though? He said, listen, because what you got to think about is, you got to think about longevity, is that if you get an 18-ton lorry, there's only so much you can carry on an 18-ton lorry. I think it's about 10 ton. It's between 8 and 10 ton payload, something like that. Whereas when you've got an Arctic and a trailer, so you've got a tractor unit, say a DAF or a man or something like that. That's probably what we're going to go for, DAF or man, because Scania's so expensive. Volvo, expensive. I don't really just like them. But yeah, man and DAF, I'm there. And I'll ping some up on screen now of what we're looking at. But yeah, he said go with the tractor unit and the trailer, because there's a lot of big logistics companies that want you to do work with them and have contracts. But what is that you'll use their trailers. So it's good to have your own trailer, obviously. Curtain side as well is what we go with. An Arctic trailer, but you want to make sure, see, if you go with an 18 tonner, it's a rigid and you're stuck, you're just locked in. Say you get someone that wants something heavy moving, or you've got someone that wants some plant machinery moving, well, you can't do that in an 18 tonner because you're stuck with what you've got. Whereas you can get another trailer with a beaver tail, which is like that, and you can attach it to your tractor unit. So I was like, yeah, it's clever, fair enough. This guy's got a lot of contracts in a lot of places, and he might even have something for me. So we'll see. Now, you got to be, when you go for your operator's license, going back to that, you got to have a place that you can store it. Now, I have a place here that can store it. However, probably not going to store it here because it's very big. It takes up a lot of space. I've got a farmer down the road I was talking to yesterday. He's got some land, and I think we're going to store it down there, not far away from here, because it takes up a lot of space. It's a difference, you know, you go out and you just buy a van like that, you know, that's 16 grand with the VAT. You just go out and you just buy the van. It doesn't happen like that with a lorry. You just got to buy a lorry. Although lorries seem to be cheaper. This was 16 grand, this van, with the VAT. Obviously, we've put this modification on the side. That was 2 grand. Interestingly, you can buy a reasonable tractor unit. It's probably going to have about 500,000 miles on it. And by the way, with lorries, guys, like 500,000 miles on a lorry is not that much. Or kilometres, shall I say, because lorries all in kilometres. It's not that bad. Whereas with these, 500's a lot. So there's a lot more to it, a lot more servicing. So like part of the operator's license is you've got to have it serviced, you've got to have a maintenance contract with a local garage that obviously services lorries. You've got to go in every 6 weeks to get it serviced. You've got your tacho. You can't drive more than, it's about 9 hours a day on average. I think you can drive 10 hours 2 days a week. There's just a lot more to it. You've got to show also, it's another thing that I didn't know about. It's not a problem because we've got it, but you need to show bank accounts with 8.5 grand in one, at least as a minimum, that just never gets touched. You then got to have a bank account set aside for fuel, which they're probably looking for like 4 or 5 grand. So you'll operate that with your fuel. So it's not, you can't just go out. It's like you can't just go and buy a van and drive a van. It's just a lot to it. There's a lot of little intricate things that they want to see that you do and who you operate with. They want to see all your bank accounts. They want to see everything about you personally. They want to know who you are. And then they put it out in the Gazette and you get 28 days. And if anyone complains against it, you fail it. You don't get your operator's license. So I think we're going to be going for the Arctic and the trailer. After thought about it, originally it was 18 ton all day long, but after talking to him yesterday, thinking about it, it just makes so much sense. So we can run a couple of the Luton vans that we've got. So they're the quick, easy, in and out, same day. And then we'll have an Arctic, which will be more scheduled. And it'll be me driving it to start with as well. I need another driver for that one. So if everyone wants to drive, you're in Gloucestershire, you're a driver, courier driver, same day. Sometimes it's early start, sometimes it's late finishes, sometimes you finish early, sometimes you don't. But, you know, it's a very interesting industry. And, yeah, come work for SPF. We need some more drivers. Got some good drivers right now. When we've got the work flowing, which it normally is, just January's quite quiet. I mean, you still get paid anyway, wouldn't you? So if you'd be PAYE as a driver for me if you're driving. I need someone to drive that because I'm driving it at the minute and I've got the things to do. So I need someone to drive that. Just drop me a message or a comment or whatever you want to just let me know if you're interested. I'm in Gloucestershire. You need to live about 30 minutes from Gloucester at most. Ideally, you want to be living in Gloucester or Cheltenham or Tewkesbury because you can get down to our yard because you need to leave the van here every day. So every morning you come down here, pick the van up and off you go. There's 90% of the time, 95% of the time there's work. Occasionally I might send you somewhere and we might have to, worst case, wait maybe half an hour to an hour to find you a job back. But we generally always find something back. Got some good contacts. Obviously we've got the CX. We've got some really good contacts, but we get a lot of pre-books now. So like the day before we get pre-books. We've got some for tomorrow. So yeah, I thought I'd share it. This is the plan now. So 2025, we're SPF Logistics. However, we've predominantly been hitting the courier market the same day as what we've been specialising. But now it's come to a point where we want to add the articulated lorry to our fleet. To start with, we'll start with one. We're going to buy it outright. I don't want any finances on anything. You can finance it. You know, you could even get like a really, really spanking new one, blah, blah, blah. We'll go with Euro 6, obviously, because then you haven't got to pay ULEZ and it's better for the environment. So, yeah, but I'm probably looking to spend 7.5 to 12.5, maybe 13 grand on the tractor unit, and probably 5-6 grand on the trailer, something like that. Which is crazy, because this trailer that I'm on right now, this cost, he wanted 5 for it, I gave him 4, right? That's a 20-foot trailer for a car. It is a triaxle though, bear in mind. That was like, I gave him 4 grand for that. Right, you think a lorry trailer, which is gonna be like twice the size of that. No, probably even more than that. Probably a bit more than that. 2.5 times the size of that in length, and then height as well. I just find it mind-blowing. But that's just how it is. So keep on the journey, watch me. I'm going to keep recording now, like on all the things I'm doing regarding getting the operator's license, doing my C+E. So if something that you've ever wanted to do, you want to be a lorry driver, you're interested in it, what's the process? I'm going to show you what that process is. Even if you want to be a lorry driver and work for somebody else, you know, you might not want your own articulated lorry. You might want to be an owner driver where you buy an articulated lorry and you subcontract to someone permanently. I'm going to show you that process because it's exciting. At the moment, I'm doing my theory, practicing on that quite a lot, doing the hazard perception, because you have to do all that again. I'll be honest, a lot of signs I didn't know, you know, because some of them are just particularly for lorries, so you just ignore them. So having to learn what those signs are, relearn some existing signs, which over time, you know, it's been 15, 16 years since I did my driving test. But keep tuned, stay tuned, watch your space, because if you're interested in HGVs, you're interested in lorries, I'm going to start to show you the whole process on how I'm doing it, how I'm starting out, and then there'll be that lovely bit at the end when we do get the vehicle. And not only when we get the vehicle, where do we get our work from, how we finding contacts, how do we keep that lorry moving, because that's the next thing, guys. You want that thing moving. Even this today, this isn't moving. This has moved for half a day. Right now it's not moving. Don't like it. It's just sitting there. But we may have some more work for this afternoon, so I'm just going to make a few calls now, see where we're at. Watch your space. HGV, we're coming for you.